So tonight's match, we got 17-point squads, Spider Infected invade Manhattan, and Riot Spark over Extremis 3.0. I'll show you the teams and the table, and let's get started. Up first, we got Dark Dimension. We've got Dormammu as our leader, Enchantress, Bullseye, and Crossbones going along for the ride. And taking on Big Bad Dormammu are the X-Men, bringing Magneto for some much-needed muscle. So X-Men cards are running tonight, and I kind of went all generic here and just kind of deal them out to both teams. So I'm not using any of the team-specific cards. What we got Patch Up, Sacrifice, Mission Objective, Advanced R&D, and No Matter the Cost. And Dark Dimension is going with Follow Me, Marked for Death, Inspiring Monologue, Face Me, and 1-2 Punch. Face Me is like my all-time favorite card. I love that one. So we are deployed. We've got the Beast over here, Cyclops, Magneto, and Storm. On the other side, we've got Dormammu in the center with his two henchmen, Bullseye and Crossbones, right next to him, and Enchantress working the flank by herself. Our objective tokens are already marked. We have our 4 Extremis Consoles, and of course our 5 Spider-Infected villains. One side note, you can only hold 1 Spider-Infected per character. So Dormammu activates first. He does hit move, and he'll go ahead and he'll pick up that civilian. Second move action puts him right about there. So Cyclops activate next. He'll take a move action and see if he can get in range to give Dormammu an optic blast. So Cyclops is not in range, so he'll go ahead and move again to pick up that Spider-Infected civilian. And Cyclops finishes activation. So Enchantress will activate next. Her first action will be a move to go ahead and get that guy there. And I measured it, and she just fits. So Enchantress would love to take a shot at Cyclops, but he's out of range. So instead, she'll do another move action, get closer to that objective token over there. So she finishes up right outside the diner. So Storm will activate next. She'll do a move action to get her up to here. And then she is in range to take a shot at Dormammu. He's a size 5. The truck is a size 2. She can definitely hit him. He won't get covered because he's not in base-to-base contact with it. Yeah, she's got it. So she moved, spent a power, picked up the Spider-Infected civilian, and now she's going to take a pot shot over here at Dormammu. So Storm did pretty well. She scored 3 hits, including the wild, to trigger the shock. So Dormammu does block all 3. He got 2 crits, and then on the reroll, he got Skull's count for him, and he blocked all 3 hits. So Dormammu will take the shock special condition from the attack. So back to Dark Dimension. I think Crossbones is going to activate and try to move up here to take a swing at Cyclops in round 2. So Crossbones is a double move action, not the full double move, but enough to get him to that point there, and he will hopefully score the objective this turn. So the Beast is going to go next. So do a move action to get him up close to that. So Beast is just out of range of Enchantress for his range 3 attack, which actually, yeah. So, well, he could go over. I guess he'll stay where he is. So last up is Bullseye, my favorite 2-point character in the game. Well, he's probably just gonna move, I think, and get in range for round 2. So Bullseye does a double move action to put him right next to the big guy. So Magneto will be activating next. He's probably doing a move action, put him further up the field. I'm thinking he doesn't want to spend any power this turn. Not that he would this necessarily, but I think he's going to save it for force projection for round 2. Looks like he's going up against Dormammu. So with a double move action, it puts him right up here, going toe-to-toe with Dormammu himself. Should be a knockout slugfest coming up in round 2. So, state of the board here, we've got a tie game 3-3. Looks like the X-Men have got 3 civilian tokens, given 3 points, and 2 civilians went to the the Dark Dimension, and Crossbones also is securing this console for an additional point, and it is 3-3. So we're going to start round 2 during the power phase, but before we dole out the power, we must resolve the Spider-Infected. So we're going to roll some dice for those carrying them. If they roll a hit, a crit, or a wild, the opposing player can move them short. So all 3 X-Men, Cyclops, Beast, and Storm, rolled for them. Beast and Storm did not trigger anything, but Cyclops did. he's got to get moved short, and Dark Dimension chooses which way to move him. So Dark Dimension has chosen to move Cyclops closer to Crossbones. So after rolling for Dark Dimension, Enchantress did not trigger anything, but Dormammu did. X-Men can move him short. So power's been doled out. Magneto places second construct right there. So he's got 5 power to work with, X-Men's activation, and Magneto will go activate first, and he's going to go right after Dormammu. The idea is here, hit him hard, hit him fast, while he's a little bit weakened, and see what you can do. So Magneto goes reverse polarity on Dormammu with his first attack, and he rolled, believe it or not, he rolled like 3 skulls. So the reroll he gets from being in range 2 of Dormammu didn't even really do him much good, and Dormammu blocked all 3 of them. So with Magneto's second action, he'll attack Dormammu again. He probably just go for Bullseye and try to knock him out and daze him. Yeah. Alright, let's go for Bullseye instead this time. See if he's in range. Alright, so Magneto had a little bit more luck with Bullseye. He did score 2 wounds on him, but Bullseye is going to spend for his parting shot to put a wound on Magneto. So Bullseye spent his power parting shot and put a wound on Magneto, and he gets to move short. He gets to advance short away from the attacker, so I think he's going to move towards his objective over here. Dormammu's going to activate next. He's going to Shadow Bolt Magneto, hopefully do it twice. So Magneto had been saving his power for force projection. He did use it to give him 6 defensive dice, which really helped him out because he blocked all the ones incoming from Dormammu. Unfortunately, Dormammu did roll a wild, which triggers sap power and also Hex on Magneto. So Dormammu wants to do his incantation attack, but I think we're going to pass on that and do another Shadow Bolt at him because the incantation really requires another X-Man to be within like range 2 of Magneto, and there's nobody in that satisfies that requirement. So Dormammu will just go ahead and do another Shadow Bolt on Magneto. So Dormammu's second attack on Magneto with the Shadow Bolt was really kind of pathetic. He did roll a wild and a skull, which for him skulls count as hits. Only just 2 hits. Magneto had force projection again paid for. He had enough power to do it, and he rolled a 6 defensive dice. He blocked all of them easily. Sap power was triggered, so Dormammu did pull power from Magneto to himself, and that's how the activation ends. So X-Men will activate next, and I think Cyclops should go because he doesn't want to be this close to Crossbones. This is definitely a disadvantage for him. I think he'll Optic Blast him, and then probably, or maybe twice, we'll see what happens. So Crossbones took 3 wounds in that attack from the Optic Blast. Crossbones will go ahead and spend a power to reduce that by 1. In addition, Cyclops did roll a wild, so he has the option of pushing Crossbones short away from him. I think he's going to do that. So that Optic Blast did push Crossbones back a little bit. So Crossbones has like an everyday power, which is aggressive. Anytime he's attacked, and he can always advance short after the attack is done. So he winds up right back where he started. With Cyclops' second action, he's going to do a hit and run, pay the 2 power for that, which means he gets an attack on Crossbones and can move afterwards. So the second Optic Blast, it did score 2 hits. Crossbones, with only his 2 dice, he was able to block 1 of them. He took a wound. He took 2 wounds, and he used his power to pay a power to reduce it by 1. So 1 wound goes through on Crossbones on the second attack, and now Cyclops will move. So with Cyclops' free move, it puts him right there because he wants to try to score that objective this round. And now Crossbones has aggressive. He can get an advance short towards Cyclops if he chooses to. I think he's probably going to stay. No, he'll probably advance. Okay, so Dark Dimension is going to activate next. Now, let's think this thing through for a second. So, Enchantress is way over there, and she's not within range of Beast. So, that means she would have to move first to attack him. there's no cards that they have. She could play the Face Me card to move him closer to her, but that's an awful lot of power to spend on that. She's going to wait. Now, Bullseye is interesting because he does have line of sight to Storm where he is. He could spend the only 2 power he has for hit and run, which means he can attack her, then move, putting himself over here, which he would get cover if she attacks him her next activation. That's what they're going to do. So Bullseye couldn't actually attack Storm. He wasn't quite in range. He went for Magneto instead, and believe it or not, he scored 2 wounds on him and triggered the bleed special condition because Magneto used up all his previous power on all those force projections against the Dormammu. And now Bullseye will move. So that's the free move he gets from hit and run, and now he can go ahead and attack Magneto again. So Bullseye is on a roll. He only had 4 attack dice for that throwing knives, but he did score 3 hits. Didn't roll any wilds this time, but Magneto only blocked 1 of them. He didn't have enough power at the time of the attack to use force projection, so he took the 2 wounds, and that's where we stand. And Bullseye is done. So the X-Men activate next, and it's going to be either Storm or Beast. Beast, well, here's the situation. Magneto has 5 wounds on him already. He only has a health of 6. So they would love to use the card Patch Up, but they don't have the power to use it. And they only have 1 power apiece, meaning Storm and Beast. So they have no means to really move Magneto out of harm's way because Crossbones is the only one left to activate for Dark Dimension, but he's out of range now. But they do have that Face Me. And you can see over there that Crossbones has the power, enough power to execute that. So Crossbones theoretically could play that card and knock out Magneto this round. So it's going to be either Storm or Beast. Beast once again has the same situation here. Like he doesn't want to waste him. I'm thinking, oh boy! And now Bullseye has cover. Yeah. The best thing Storm I can think to do with her is just move over here and try to secure and then take a shot at Bullseye. So Storm had 3 hits. You can see what he rolled in defense. He didn't block anything. So Bullseye is now dazed, and he does trigger Parting Shot. He spent his 2 power to put a wound on Storm. So that's her activation. Alright, so I think Enchantress will activate next, and instead of making goo-goo eyes here with the Beast, she'll move and try to get herself in range of 1 of this and then make an attack. So she moved and did Enthrall on the Beast, and she scored 3 hits. He didn't block any, took 3 wounds, and she only got 1 wild in her attack roll, so she puts down the slow special condition on him. So Beast will activate next. I don't think that he should move and try and contest that because he does not match up very well against her. He's better off moving to secure this objective over here, I think. So even though the Beast had been slowed with that special condition, his large base, even with that slow movement tool, was still enough 2 moves to get him into secure this Extremis console over here. I almost forgot, Beast will also interact with that Extremis console to remove a wound. So even though Crossbones could use the Face Me to pull Magneto over and try to daze him this round, Magneto did pick up enough power over the course of the round to he could do his force projection, which might not work. Instead, I think even though Cyclops has quick draw, I think Crossbones go ahead and try to overpower him and throw him. So Crossbones did a strike. He did score 2 hits on Cyclops, and Cyclops whiffed over here. So 2 wounds go on Cyclops. Cyclops can't do quick draw because they're in range 2 of each other, and now we have to resolve the rest of it. So with the second activation, Crossbones will do the overpower. So there's Crossbones' roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits with some wilds in there. And you can see what Cyclops rolled over here. He did block 2 of them. So 4 wounds went through, plus an extra wound for being thrown into this terrain piece. So So Cyclops is dazed on that last attack and dropped his objective token, or his civilian, I should say. And that wraps up the activation. Okay, so end of round 2. What a crazy round that was. It looks like we got X-Men still up 7-6. And Bullseye was dazed. Cyclops was dazed also. So a lot of blood being spilled out there. Round 3 power phase, Storm was pushed off of that, or not pushed, but she was advanced off of her objective. She was infected, and so was Dormammu, and he was also advanced backwards as well. So the energy bolt caused 4 hits on Cyclops. He used quick draw, so he rolls 5 defensive dice, but only blocked 1 of them. So that didn't work out so well. I'll take 3 wounds, and that was the first, So Dormammu will Shadow Bolt Cyclops again. So Dormammu scores 6 hits. Cyclops did quick draw again, which gave him 5 defensive dice. He's going to block 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So 2 wounds are going to go through. So Cyclops is hanging on with just 1 health left on his injured side. Now, he should have gotten that Hex special condition from the Shadow Bolt on the first attack too, which might have affected this, because I think he wouldn't have re-rolled for that crit. I don't think he got anything on the re-roll though. I think he got that blank, so it was kind of a moot point. But yeah, anyways, that's all cleaned up and on we go. Now, Dormammu is going to go ahead and he's going to pay his power, so it's 6 power. 3, 6, let me put that over there. He's going to go ahead and do the old follow me. So the question is Dormammu using the follow me on Crossbones or over here on Bullseye? Since Bullseye is in range of both Magneto and Storm, if we don't use it on Bullseye, he's not going to survive the round. So I'm thinking let's use it on Bullseye. So Bullseye just uses his normal base attack. He got 3 hits. Magneto did not do his energy cover thing he does for 6 defense dice, because he knows that even if he blocks all of them, Bullseye will just spend his 1 power to do the I never miss, which will put that instant wound on Magneto, dazing him anyways. So he saved the power, and Magneto is now dazed. With Bullseye's second activation, he's going to Pincushion Storm. So the first wave of Pincushion, Storm blocked all of them. But she will pick up the bleed condition on that. And then Pincushion allows Bullseye to make a second Pincushion as long as he's targeting the original, which is Storm. So the second wave of Pincushion, Storm blocked all the hits. She can't get bleed again, so she's already got it on her from the first wave, and that's how Bullseye's activation ends. So one minor note about that last attack with Dormammu and using the Follow Me card. Basically, he wasn't quite in range 3 of Bullseye. I thought he was, but I remeasured it. He was a little hair shy, so I had him spend his 3 power. He's a superpower, not of this world, which allows him to move in range of 2. So he would have done that. He had the power for it, so I've adjusted his power. He would have moved using the superpower and then done the card, so all is well. So after that opening activations by the Dark Dimension for round 3, X-Men finally get their first activation. I'm thinking it's got to be Cyclops. He's down to his last health. He's got a bunch of power saved up, but unfortunately the cards that they have, he does not have any prerequisites to run those cards despite having the power to do so. So I think he's going to go ahead and just give some payback on Crossbones. So Cyclops is going to Optic Devastation Crossbones twice. He's got 9 power over there in reserve, and that's it. Let's see what happens. So 7 attack dice on Concussive Force, scoring only 2 hits. Now, Crossbones only gets 2 defensive dice on energy attacks. He was able to block 1 of them, and he spent a power to use his... he can remove a wound for 1 power. He did that, so nothing actually happens to him. Now, Cyclops did take away another power from Crossbones as a result, but that's, yeah. So, action number 2. So Cyclops' second action was he paid 2 power to do the hit and run. So he's going to do the hit first. He attacked with his base attack, And wow, he scored only, this is horrible, he scored one lousy hit out of that. So of course, Crossbones went ahead and he did his 2 defense dice for energy. He blocked one of them, so nothing really happens there. And the worst thing is, Cyclops not roll any wild to trigger any special things from his Optic Blast. So, but he can move now, so let's move him. So Cyclops gets to move after the attack, putting him right about there outside the diner. And he did spend a power, interact, and pick up that civilian. So that's where we end right now. So Dark Dimension goes, well, they've only got Enchantress and Crossbones. I don't think Crossbones can get to him. He might be able to get to Cyclops. I can't pre-measure the movement in this game, but I can pre-measure range. Let me check out how far away range-wise Cyclops is from Crossbones. This is going to be risky because the Dark Dimension is down on points. And if Crossbones comes off that objective and moves to try to get in range of Cyclops, that's a scoring opportunity missed, but I think he's going to do it anyways. So the move action, although short, did put him just enough in range of 2 to use his base attack on Cyclops to be a strike. Well, I'm sorry, but Crossbones has Cyclops' number in this game, man. He's just clever lining him into the corner. So we have our roll there. So let's see, he got, oh boy, he got 1, 2, 3 hits. Cyclops rolled. Wow, he whiffed again. As 3 hits go through, it's all he needs. Cyclops is dazed. I'm sorry, he's KO'd. He's out of the game. So although Crossbones knocked Cyclops into the ground, he doesn't have enough power to interact and pick that up anyways. So Storm is going to activate next, try to avenge them. They're already down a guy. Now, she wants to attack and knock out Bullseye. He's on his injured side. He's got 4 health. She doesn't have a lot of attack dice in her pools though, so the X-Men may have to play a little strategy here and play keep away. I think she should move back here, secure this, score the point here by securing this, and then attacking him. That's what she'll do. So Storm did Lightning Bolt Bullseye, and she scored 2 wounds on him and dropped the shock on him. Now Bullseye did his parting shot. He spent the power for that, which allowed him to put an extra wound on Storm, and he got to move away. He got to advance away from her, putting him over there. So Storm is not done just yet. She has a superpower that she can use. She spent 3 power. She's going to actually be throwing this mail truck into Bullseye. Although she has the power to do the throw, and she's in range 3 of this terrain piece, she can't because the throw is measured from her base, and at movement tool small, it would never reach over there. So instead, she just spends 1 power to interact with that to remove a wound. So Dark Dimensions activation, Enchantress will activate. The plan's pretty simple. She's going to move to put her in range of Beast, use Siren's Call to move him off that objective, and then end throw him. So Enchantress, as you said, moved. Use Siren's Call to move the Beast off of that objective token, and then she went ahead and enthralled him. She did score 2 wounds on that, and also dropped down the stun condition on the Beast. So Beast will activate next, and I'm thinking he's got 3 power to spend. He really should use his baser instincts for 2 power to choose or an enemy character, both of size 2, and throw it. In range of 2, yeah. He could throw Enchantress. So Beast throws her into that dumpster. She'll take a wound for that. And now he's got 2 attacks to make on her. So that attack was interesting. So basically he scored, let's see, he got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits with a wild, and she used her 5 psychic defense dice, and she only blocked, what's she roll over here? Here it is. She only blocked just 1. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 wounds went on her. She's almost dazed. And then plus, Beast rolled a wild, so the ambush kicked in. He places her within range 1 of him. That's why she's moved off that terrain piece a little bit there. And he's still got 1 action left. So Beast has 1 action left. He's got enough power earned from that last attack to do his animalistic freestyle. And on wilds, he'll trigger float like a... oh, that's nice. Okay, so let's go through the chronology here. So his second action was animalistic freestyle. Basically, he scored all the hits he needed to daze her. She did not. Beast also spent 2 power to prevent her from using her psychic defense dice. So she was dazed. Now, as part of animalistic freestyle, he got to push her away small. That's why she's over there. And then he got after the attack was resolved, he made advanced medium, putting him right back to where he started from to score this objective. So wow, what a great move for the Beast. So some unexpected events happening in round 3. Obviously, I didn't expect Enchantress to get dazed, but the Beast was just really... he had all that power saved up, and he just used it and just leveled her. Crossbones taking out Cyclops, although I didn't play Cyclops correctly this game. He's more of a long-range character. He should never have gotten entangled with Crossbones. I forgot to mention, she did Enchantress drop that civilian she was carrying when she was dazed. So we'll score it up now and see where we are. So at the end of round 3, our score is 11 for X-Men, 7 for Dark Dimension. Looks like X-Men, although they're down a person, they probably should just play keep away and just run the clock out on these guys. We'll see what happens in round 4. So start of round 4, and X-Men have first activation. And, we did the Spider Infected for the power phase. Nobody was affected, so everybody stays where they were. And Magneto will be activating first for the X-Men. He's about to unleash everything he's got on Bullseye and Dormammu. Up till now, he's been a human shield for the X-Men, but now he gets to throw a punch. And what some punches it's going to be. So as you can see, Magneto's got 10 power been built up, and he's ready to use it. He'll be fatal attractioning with these terrain pieces out here, just throwing them at him. So the trick here is the cost is the size of the terrain feature, and every time he does it this round, it adds 1 more to the cost. So there we go. So Magneto paid 2 power to take the metal construct here, and he threw it at Bullseye, who was over there. And Bullseye did not. He had 1 less dice for his defense. He was in shock, and he whiffed, so he is now knocked out. So Magneto paid 3 power to throw the postal truck that was here at Dormammu over there. Dormammu blocked most of them, but 1 hit got through, so he took on 1 wound. So now Magneto's going to pay 4 power to throw this metal construct at Dormammu. It's a size 2. So this one goes right into him, and well, actually goes from here, but... And then he took his defensive rolls. He did block 1 of them, so he took 2 more wounds. So Magneto took his first attack action. He did his base attack for 6 dice and physical, and that's what he rolled, was horrible. And Dormammu easily blocked that, so that was a wasted effort. So after that first attack, when he basically whiffed it with that lousy dice roll, he was able to push him. So he pushed him back small. So I'm thinking he probably should do something else then. He's probably out of range now, so he'll probably move. So Magneto is actually going to move this way towards Enchantress, the second action. And now he's done after all of that. So Dark Dimension is going to activate Enchantress next. They really have to because she's on her flip side, and she already took a wound in the power phase this turn because she had over 6 power. And that's what Dark Dimension does, man. If a character goes over 6 power in the power phase, they take a wound. That being said, she better do something here. I think she's going to go ahead and at least maybe take 1 attack on maybe Beast, and then try to move out of there. So Enchantress does Enthrall on the Beast, and she rolled pretty well. She got, I think it was 5 hits over there. Beast, I don't know if you can see it, he just blocked 1 of them. So 4 hits went through, plenty of damage. He only had 2 health left, and he is now dazed, dropping his civilian he was carrying. And she's got 1 more action left. So the second thing she's going to do, this is not one of her actions, it's a superpower. She's going to spend 3 to throw this dumpster at Magneto. So bad news for Magneto, she throws it from her base. This goes over there, hits him. It's 3 potential wounds he's trying to block. And you can see what he rolled over here, which was absolutely horrible. So he's going to take 3 wounds from this. He has no power to use the reverse polarity, so 3 wounds on Magneto. So with her last action, now will be an attack action. She'll be using Spurned Affection on the Magneto. Magneto, that's what you get for making Google eyes at her. Well, here we go. So Enchantress Spurned Affection energy attack. Boy, she's on a high streak. 4 hits. Magneto rolled, and you can see he blocked nothing. Now he couldn't use reverse polarity, even though he had 3 power, because she saps. So she rolled 2 wild, so she sapped out 2 of his power, taking that from him, leaving him with only 1 power. So yeah, that's not good. Magneto takes let's see, he can block any, so it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on him, 4 wounds. So she had a really big turn. She got hot with the dice, and Magneto is just down to, he's got 8, I think. He's got 7 wounds. He's down to 1 health. So she has done her activation. So Storm will activate next for the X-Men. She's out of range. She can't, there's nothing else she's really got. So she'll probably just go ahead, and I think she's going to, first action is shake this off, the bleed, and I think the second thing she'll do is pay a power to heal herself 1 wound, interacting with that, and I think the last thing she'll do is maybe move, maybe not, a little bit. How about we put her like right here, so she gets a little closer, but still securing this objective. So smelling blood in the water, Dormammu's going to activate next, and he's not in range of Magneto, and he's hanging on with just 1 health, so I think Dormammu's going to move and take a shot at him. So Shadow Bolt on Magneto. So bad news for Magneto, because Enchantress sapped out some of Magneto's power on her last attack, he didn't have enough to do reverse polarity, give himself extra defense dice. So Dormammu scores, what was it? Let's take a look at the roll over here. So he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits because skulls count for him, and Magneto didn't roll so well. He did get two crits, but blocked 2 of them, so he takes 3 wounds, more than enough, and he is KO'd. So Dormammu is not done yet. He's going to play a card also. He's going to play Face Me, and he's got the power to do it. So Face Me means he moves her, advances her move distance. He put her towards him, and he's going to go ahead. The card says he can make 1 attack action after he does that, so that's what he's going to do. So Dormammu he paid his 5 power to do Incantation of Obliteration, and man, he scored big on this. Look at this. He's got skulls count for him, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the crits were over here, 8, 9 hits on Storm. So Storm, as you can probably imagine, she did not roll nearly well. There's no way she could have done it. But so she's dazed, and the other things won't really trigger because she's dazed. So everybody else is dazed. The X-Men, no other activations. Dazed, knocked out. So Crossbones, our last guy to go here for the Dark Dimension. He's not really in range to pick this up. I think he's not going to burn any movement to do it. It's so far out of the realm of things. They'll just move and try to at least secure this objective over here. So Crossbones finishes up right there. We'll make sure he's in range 1. There we go, like that. And there's his move. He's done. So Dark Dimension scores 2 points this round. X-Men none. So now we're much closer at 11 X-Men and 9 for Dark Dimension. So start of round 5, and we get the power doled out to everybody. Spider Infecteds, only Dormammu and Enchantress had somebody. They both rolled, came up with blanks, so no movement there. The only really thing to note was Enchantress takes 3 power a turn because she has 2 for Asgardia and 1 for Dark Dimension, but that meant she got 6. When you have 6 or more in Dark Dimension, you take a wound. She took a wound, which automatically gave him another power. So he rolled pretty well with those 2 crits over there he got. He re-rolled and he got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total hits with 3 wild. So he'll sap 3 power out of her. So Storm was actually KO'd. She only blocked 1 of those. And not only that, but he sapped out 3 power from her. So before he killed her. So that's, yeah, she's done. So he did activate one of his superpowers. He paid 3 power to move range 2, moving him closer to the beast, putting him in range to Shadow Bolt the beast. And this might be game right here, so we'll take care of that and see how it goes. This is probably it for the beast. Dormammu rolled, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the rerolls. 7 hits. Beast only has 2 to defend for energy, so that means that 5 wounds are coming through. He only has a health of 5. His card was already flipped. So he is, yeah, he done. So that's game, folks. Yeah, Beast is KO'd, and that's going to be it. The Dark Dimension is going to wind up winning this one. So the wrap up here is a Dark Dimension came from behind and basically just wiped the floor with the X-Men. I guess I didn't play the X-Men very well in this game because they should have done a little better than this, but Enchantress got that 1 big hot streak she got, and then of course Dormammu just went on a tear here at the end and just knocked both of them out with his 1 activation. So that's it, guys. That's game. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.